Welcome back to Beyond the Veil background information. Once again we're doing another character profile today, and today we're going to do about Theodosius Viper, who's also nicknamed Digger. Okay, so let's get on with this. Theodosius Viper sighed, lounging within the grass and looking towards the white clouds strolling by, his gorgeous pale eyes flickering from golden to silver, their shades shifting like the moon in the night sky as he felt his mood dropping and sorrow eating at him for the fear of losing the one person he trusted above all but family. Handsome though Dio was, with his sleek blonde hair kept neatly brushed back, the creamy-coloured skin, the sharp features of his father, the tall body with a frame that appeared if but was like that of a dancer, more muscular than could be guessed. Dio was not like his siblings. He would be turning 18 on the 9th, barely 3 days away, and yet where his 3 older brothers and even his elder twin sister had shown their vampire traits at 12 and 13, Dio had no fangs to show the world. So a quote from Viper in the Shadows. This is Theodosius Viper, nicknamed Dio and my favourite member of the Viper clan. He's the 4th son and appears or is mentioned in practically all of the stories after Foundations of Blood, and well, he's just such a favourite of mine. I don't know whether it's the various emotional situations he goes through, or just the fact that no matter what, he always seems to be the one to keep his father's ideals the most. For my patrons, there's much more of a physical description about him there and more details really. But if you want to read about Theodosius' main story, buy Viper in the Shadows on Amazon. Also, I'm recording this on the 14th of June, and on the 16th of June, the third book of the Viper fan story, which is Ancient Venom, will be published on Amazon as well. So by the time YouTube watchers get this, the next book in the Viper fan series will be available. Let's go on to not advertising. Okay, name Theodosius Viper. Position vampire with some human and demon blood. Story featuring Viper in the Shadows, Ancient Venom, Bat and Snake, and well, most of the Viper fan stories. Role main protagonist in Viper in the Shadows. Gender male. Description: Dio is about 5'7". He is average build and has a pale skin with golden blonde hair that is trimmed to the back of the neck, straight with a few loose strands at the front like his father, although his do not remain unruly, and it is unusually brushed back neatly. He has the same wicked lightning strike eyebrows that are a slightly darker shade of blonde, and he has silvery eyes that can go golden in firelight and a brilliant white in paler light. He has a neat face with the same sharp features as his father, and yet he is slimmer than his father and brothers, with some muscle upon his torso, but not much definition. He does, however, inherit his father's pronounced backside of its healthy smooth curve, and he is very much more slender and vampiric in silhouette. His body has grace and it moves, his actions and motions are always fluid, and he has often been used to have the natural balance and skill of a ballet dancer. His face sits in a natural scowl, however, and his eyes and eyebrows are surprisingly telling in their expressions. Realm the Veil. Abilities: like all vampires, he lives off life force given mostly by permission, using pheromones. But Dio's pheromones are unique in not affecting females, but instead affecting males. He can turn into a bat like all of his kind, but being more human and demon, he is not affected by sunlight and can survive longer without blood. Theodosius has developed his abilities with vampire magic, something left over from their demon heritage, which he's very good at, but is best at hiding within the shadows of others, being carried around within the shadows and not being noticed. But above all things, Theodosius is intelligent and cunning. Master himself, he doesn't believe in a higher force to solve his problems. Personality: Theodosius is quiet and reserved. He can get irritated quickly, but his anger is quick to fade, and most often than not, he shows a compassionate nature and a willingness to understand. When he loves people, he loves them fully, and so friends are rare but held in high regard, and he is as family-orientated as his siblings. He is oversensitive, though, taking comments to heart, although he has learned to show a stoic face and then cry on the inside. He values his solitude, and yet he does not enjoy total loneliness, and he has a caring nature that often means he nurtures and mothers the people that he adores most. He is a very passionate person, and for him, even simple gestures like holding hands can mean 1,000 times more, to the point he may seem to almost cry to simple act of kindness. However, because he is also a homosexual, and a militant one at that, he is described as a waste by his community, and this has meant he's had to learn to guard himself all the more. He knows he does not want a woman, and at times he envies women because they are not judged for being sensitive or for loving men. But sometimes he comes off as irritable, arrogant, or a bit callous, as he is quick to come up with catchy comments, and yet there is never really true malice in his words or actions, as he is not an unkind person. Relations, as far as Viper in the Shadows goes. Okay, he's the son of Theo Viper and Ada Viper. formerly known as Theodosius Cartwright Biltmore and Adelia from Knightsbridge. Younger brother of Tybalt, Gaston, and Noel. Younger twin brother of Elaine, and elder brother of Celine, Beauregard, and Odette. History. This is only up to Viper in the Shadows. Okay, born second in a set of twins where the midwives were not available to help, but his mother was in terrible trouble. Theodosius was held by his father and eased out of his mother from his tangled position. Flew at birth, his father not only had to clear his lungs, but push air into him before he squealed on his own, this making the close bond permanent. Early on, Theo was involved in Dio's care, feeding him by the bottle to help make the preciously weak twins stronger, and always calling him his Theodosius, which will mean God, but it's a joke on his father being Theo. Dio developed his speech and walking skills quickly, and yet his social skills took longer, as he only seemed to feel endeared to his parents, and not even his twin sister. But when his baby sister Celine arrived, it changed, and he was incredibly attentive of her. But very early on, it was clear that Dio was very sensitive, taking any shout or criticism to heart and bursting into tears, hiding away or playing with Elaine and Celine rather than his brothers, and crying whenever he tripped and hurt himself. His uncle Taliesin saw the signs immediately and knew that, like him, Dio was not only abnormal in his sexuality, but clearly at danger of being hurt by it. Theo understood and made sure Dio was able to confide with him, but it was something that Tybalt suspected and did not approve of, always trying to keep an eye out for anyone that would dare to harm his baby brother. In time, Dio went to the school his father set up along with a few other children, including a human called Gerard, who was picked on like Dio because they were different. The boys became best friends, and indeed, Dio was in love with him from the first and eager to do anything for him. At 14, Elaine got her fangs, but Dio did not. Indeed, his fangs and abilities did not develop at all, and it only increased the bullying he received, and meant he could not attend Vampire Academy until he was 18, which automatically made him a waste for this abnormality. Dio did not care. He knew he would not fit into such a place, and only cared about Gerard, and wanted Gerard to be with him, so that he could turn him and thereby save him from entering the Great War. But almost 18, and on the eve of Gerard's own 18th birthday and deployment to war, Dio dared to reveal his feelings and kiss Gerard. Gerard took it badly and viciously attacked Dio, which triggered the change, the fangs, and in this change, Dio devoured Gerard. Final comments. What can I say but I adore my Theodosius? Initially, I was giving him the nickname of Little Theo in the story until I figured out Tybalt's name is from Theobald. It's from Theobald anyway, and with Theodulus being called Theo Viper at this point, it would not have worked as a nickname. Then Dosey would have sounded stupidly cruel considering, and calling him Theo just seemed silly too. Then I thought about the joke of Theodosius, and as Zeus would have been a bad choice, I chose to stick with Dio, and well, considering the way things change as he gets older, it seemed a much more dominating nickname. Though after Viper in the Shadows, I tend to just write him as Theodosius more, unless he's at home or around his family. It's funny, actually, how the character's nickname can sort of take over his own name within the literature. Anyway, thank you for listening.